Hi, I'm Jono from Norway, and this video is about Space Beast Terror Fright, a game about shooting nasty aliens in a claustrophobic environment. I grew up in arcades. I also grew up with aliens, which I know sounds very strange. What I mean by that is I grew up with the movie Aliens, James Cameron's movie Aliens. I came into contact with the Games Workshop game Space Hulk. It focused on that sort of dynamic between the humans with the projectile weapons and the aliens with with their claws, which was the same as the movie Aliens. What happens when there's like a limited number of humans versus like a potentially unlimited amount of aliens. You dock with this scary alien vessel, and why would you go in there at all? But there's obviously something that you need to go into the scary environment to extract. The beasts that are in there are obviously in their home environment, and they're insanely lethal, and they'll get you and they'll kill you. The protagonists have firepower, and it's okay as long as they can keep the enemy at bay, but if they get overrun or if they can't keep them at bay, then they're dead, right? And you're searching for objects, some sort of game goal, but you have imperfect information. You don't know the maze, obviously, but you also don't know anything about where the object is aside from the distance to the object. To achieve the aspect of the maze being always unknown, we don't build levels, but we have the computer generate levels that are always unique. The environment itself has very little light. The player should probably have like a flashlight, and of course that should get crappier with time. So you have a battery concept, right? And if you don't charge your battery, then your light should get poorer and poorer, and maybe redder and redder, so it gets even more scary, right? Obviously you should hear scary stuff, ambience of the sci-fi environment you're in, like maybe like sounds in the pipes or sounds in the ventilation system, or just things from machinery that you don't really know what they are, but they're like randomly try to scare you. When the beasts start showing up, there would be things like you hear them walking, in a different corridor, like through the walls, and you hear them breathing and stuff like that. All of that to increase the tension up until the point where there's an actual confrontation. So lots of that. The motion tracker, right? You gotta have the motion tracker, like at a short range, so like within maybe 10 meters or something, you get this sort of blip on something there, and you don't know what it is. Of course you know what it is. There's this thing in movie scoring called a stinger. It's basically like this loud noise, this sort of clang or like a shriek that will be synced to when the action happens. So maybe associating that in some way to the to when the monsters actually show up, right? So I added things like doors that you can open and close, at your will. So they have this dual purpose. It's like if you close the door, then you're sort of safe. But they also they hinder you if you need to get through that space really quickly. So if there's a door that's closed and someone's chasing you, then you maybe should let the door open. So that becomes a strategic element to the whole thing. Of course, the beast should be able to break the doors, right? So another super classic thing is the sentry guns, right? To offer a way to extend the tension even more. Like we can push the enemies away without having to confront them, but there's limited mobility to the sentry gun, and there's limited ammunition, right? So that is just extending our lifespan, but then eventually we're going to have to face them anyway. It also added a strategic option, because the sentry guns are not active initially, so you have to go and turn them on, right? They also serve the purpose of conserving your ammunition, right? Because you go into the situation and you don't have infinite ammo, right? So you can't be there forever because your ammo's going to run out. Core was also the idea that once you find the thing that you're looking for, in this case it ended up being the data cores, right? So you're supposed to go download information. You have to stand there and download them for a while, right? So then all of a sudden you find the thing, but then you have to stay there and stay stationary for a little while until you get the data you want. So that, if in the case that you are being attacked, becomes sort of a difficult really needed a reward. So what I did was I added in specific upgrades that you would download in conjunction with like clearing out the level. And that was interesting because you could do that randomly, right? And it would be sort of like, what if I got infrared vision really early on? That would be, a boost, right? But then you make a caveat to that. It's like the infrared is good, but it drains your battery really quickly. So then your flashlight is crappy, and there's all that kind of stuff. Additional bullet types, increasing your ammo capacity, yeah, better motion tracker, obviously. Maybe mapping the world so you have some sort of, aid in trying to get around. I wanted some sort of, dramatic final sequence. So I was thinking that, okay, what could we add? And one of the things that, that was awesome from Aliens, the automated robot voice that sounds, very disconnected from the situation.
Danger. Emergency. All personnel must evacuate immediately.
We know that the spacecraft is infested, and there's no hope of saving it or anything. So we just want to blow it up. So what do? You just you overload the reactor, right? Obviously, because that's just so cliche. There would be coolants that you have to disable, and they take a long time, just like the data cores themselves, right? And you disable those, and then all of a sudden you get this whole, the klaxon, and you get the whole warning, evac. You have to get out of here really quickly.
Emergency. All personnel must
that would be the awesomest sort of, run to the end, right? Like your ending action sequence. The whole game is this huge, masochistic, why would you even do that? I guess that's the kind of game that I always played as a kid, these arcade games that, you put in 25 cents and gives you 3 lives and it tries to kill you within like 30 seconds. And it does initially because there's no tutorial and there was nothing like that. It was like, it's skill-based and it was really, really hard. And you had to pay for it with your allowance, and that was, it was stressful. So the whole arc, of the game is, it's gonna kill you. Like you can play a mission and you can try to survive, and if you do survive, you can keep all your upgrades, and then you're at an even better state. You're better equipped, right, to go in and do another mission, right? But eventually, probably the game will kill you, and then it's sort of like a high score. Your character downloaded such and such amount of data, and such and such amount of missions completed and enemies killed and everything, and then you get a high score, right? And I even procedurally generated the names of the characters, right, and added names of people I know and my friends and everything. So it's very inspired by like classic Amiga games like Cannon Fodder, where you have this sort of this endless stream of guys coming in and they're like being used up because it's a very difficult situation, right? So right now the game is live on our super minimal and custom launcher, along with all our other free stuff. So just go to normware.com and check it out, and you can try the demo for free, absolutely for free. Our goal is to get this game up on Steam, so we really appreciate you trying out the demo and giving us any feedback that you might have to this sort of super hardcore niched roguelike permadeath crazy challenging game that we're creating, and we hope you like it.